Alright, the Amber Collection is toast, so let's see how the Hammond Collection is, diagnosed? Don't worry, I'm not gonna break into song this time. Greetings, hello everybody! Today we're kicking off our look at the new premium range of Jurassic toys with a look at the Jurassic World Mattel Hammond Collection Jurassic Park Velociraptor. No wonder I struggle with naming these Jurassic reviews. So we have completely dumped 6-inch scale for the premium line for 3.75-inch scale, which is a much more viable scale for producing like all of the dinosaurs in the series. The 6-inch scale sounded great on paper until raptor, and I have all 3 of the new Hammond Collection dinosaurs coming up for review, but I figured let's just get the raptor out of the way since raptors are fresh on our minds. But before we look at the figure, I want to bring quick attention to the new packaging design for this series. I knew the box design was nice from what I saw, but in hand I am really impressed with it. I'm going to go as far as to say this is my favorite packaging design out of any Jurassic Park / Jurassic World toy series. Oh no, the Kenner purists are coming. Oh no, what have I done? Bolt the doors, board the windows before it's too late! I'm just kidding. I love the old Kenner packaging design, but the warm sunset and pale trees are definitely more reminiscent of Jurassic Park than Jurassic World. For a line that features dinosaurs and characters from the whole series, the metal industrial shipping container look just fits the entirety of the franchise so well. And the contrast with the amber background on the inside of the box looks awesome, which is a nice callback to the packaging design from the Amber Collection. I also love how certain elements on the packaging feature a glossy finish and a different texture to drive home that premium look and feel. But how premium is the figure on the inside of the box? Okay, so complete honesty, I bought this figure mainly to express my distaste for it. To put it bluntly, the promo images for this thing made it look awful. I mean, look at this. It's not pretty. Mattel, you need to do better promo images, man. So when I got it in hand, I was pleasantly greeted with a pretty nicely detailed and pretty nicely painted little figure. Don't worry, this little clever girl doesn't come without complaints from me. We're just gonna go through the constructive criticism formula. We start with positives, then move into why the feet are a crime against everything, and then close with a positive. So, let's continue. The sculpt is pretty much just a shrunken Amber Collection raptor to fit with the new scale, which I am mostly fine with. This figure had minor assembly in the form of attaching the tail once removing it from the packaging. It has a very nicely designed little system where the tail just clicks into place and then doesn't budge. The tail itself is a wire tail again, just like the bigger Amber Collection raptors, but this one is a lot harder to pose. I'm guessing that part comes down to the size the part was replicated at, but I must say the external material feels a little bit different to me. The articulation on this raptor is actually a bit better than I thought, for having less movable joints and just smaller pieces in general compared to its grandma from the Amber Collection. The most notable loss of articulation for me personally is the removal of the upper jaw joint, which is understandable since the head is significantly smaller than the previous premium raptors, so fitting a stable double jaw mechanism in here would be pretty tough. I also have to say, for the size, I like how this jaw works. The mouth opens and closes with ease. I definitely prefer the mouth closed since the teeth are basically just white blocks of plastic, but once again, for how small it isn't something that bothers me too much. Also, it looks like they touched up the head design to make it a bit closer to the JP Raptor from the films, but there is still something slightly off about it. Also, the head is too wide. The other major loss of articulation is in the wrists. The hands and lower arms are all molded in one piece now in a bendable plastic, which I was expecting to bother me more, but I honestly don't really notice it in hand. You can still get plenty of posability out of the arms. You lose one articulation point in the lower legs, which also doesn't really bother me if I'm honest, but you know what does bother me? What are those? The feet are atrocious on this figure. I'm not sugarcoating it, the feet are bad. The feet on the Amber Collection Raptors were oversized, but I must say the parts used in the legs at the very least eased the transition between the body and the feet. The legs on this new Hammond Raptor are worse proportionally in the musculature, but when you cover up the foot, at least it's passable. The sleek, agile, streamlined, intimidating design of the JP Raptor is completely thrown out the window when the feet look this bad, especially when one of the most iconic parts of the dinosaur are the sickle claws. And I was actually expecting the feet to be this big because maybe they fit an extra articulation point in for the sickle claw on each foot, but no. The entire foot is just one solid chunk of plastic, no movable claws or anything. Honestly, I think the best option for this little figure would have been to make the feet proportionally sized, and with the saved plastic from doing so, make a cheap Funko Pop style transparent disc base with a peg on it that could peg into the underside of either foot. This would provide many more posing options in the long run as well. And speaking of posing, the larger feet do allow this figure to stand without the need of a base. However, this Raptor is super back heavy for some reason, so it's a little tricky to achieve certain poses. Also, thanks to a tip from Dino Scream Reviews, this little lad can stand on one foot if you get it in the right position. That is pretty cool, I must say, but it still doesn't look great since the feet are literally the size of Kansas. And I quickly want to address the paint on this one, which I actually prefer in concept to the original version. The more obvious patterns on the Hammond Raptor are more akin to the Stan Winston animatronic from the original Jurassic Park movie. It's missing the nice brown gradients of the Amber Raptor, but for how cheap this figure is, I think the paint apps are fine. Anyways, in case you're wondering how large this figure is, it's typically about 7 inches long. Size is going to change depending on the pose it's in. And for a quick comparison, here's the OG Amber Collection Velociraptor and Jeff Goldblum. That's going to do it for this review, guys. I think this little Raptor is a cool figure overall for the size, minus the clown feet. Ugh. But I can't help but say I don't think it justifies being part of a premium line of figures. In my opinion, this one just feels like what the Raptor figures in the main toy line should be like. I want to like it more, but the feet just ruin a lot of it for me personally. What do you think of it? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and bye-bye.